Fellas, remember what I told you now. Hey, nobody's going to give you anything, are they? You got to go out and earn this. We go out and earn this from the very first snap. Hopefully, I left it better than I found it, and following Coach Kenning was a privilege. So I'm not denigrating him at all. I think that people hopefully will realize that it mattered to me, that I gave it my best every day, and I can be loud and crotchety, and some people even say mean, but I did it with the best intent because I wanted everybody that I came in contact with to be as good as they possibly could be.
Timeout, Side Creek, the third and final timeout.
Two guys that I know for sure that I've coached have made it to the NFL. One's got 2 Super Bowl rings, so he's done a pretty good job. So, you know, it really wasn't getting people to the NFL. It was getting people to be the best version of themselves they could be. That was always kind of my motivation. So, you know, I think I got just as much joy out of working with, you know, the third teamer that played as best he could and really didn't get to play much as the guys that are tremendously gifted that got to play all the time. Both of them were a pleasure, but as long as they became better people, I was good. I've always been involved in athletics. I mean, and I told somebody the other day, I've been on a team since I was 6, consecutively. I've never not been on a team. So it's been, what, 55 years. So, you know, coaching is in a way of extending my belief that athletics is kind of like the window into a great many things that we do. So, you know, I think that through athletics, you know, kids become better people. They become able to manage their time. They really emphasize teamwork. There's so many positive things to it, you know, and I think that when you're in athletics, when you're on a team, it transcends society. I've had guys, and this is a true story, I've had guys, one of the biggest rednecks I've ever met in my life, didn't like anybody, and guys that he hung out with, if it was a daily choice, I would never associate with that guy. But I've seen that same redneck take home an African-American kid every day from school, and they were the biggest buddies in the world. That doesn't happen in real life. That doesn't happen in society. It should. But those 2 kids were buds because they were on the same team. And so I think that, you know, stories like that made it worthwhile.
Gain of 3 yards on.
We had this kid named Jairee Spikes. Jairee's a good football player, and he's funny. He's goofy as a 9-pound robin, but he's a defensive player. And so the offense had the ball, and they were trying to score. And the offensive player was running down the sideline, and Jairee's coming to make the tackle. Said, "All right, we're gonna stop this guy right in here." And instead of tackling him, Jairee hurdled him, just jumped right over him, and the kid kept running. And I'm on the sideline, and it's funny now. It wasn't funny in the moment. I looked at the coaches on the side and said, "Did y'all see that?" I mean, he jumped over the offensive player instead of tackling the offensive player. And when I brought him to the sideline, and this is the funny part, I said, "What are you doing, man?" And he said, "Coach, I can't explain it. I have no idea." And you know, in the moment you sit there and go, "Holy cow!" And then in hindsight, and then for the next every time I see him, I said, "You remember when you jumped over the kid instead of tackling?" That was pretty funny at the time. DJ Harper, who played here at Side Creek and then went on and played at Boise State, and then had a cup of coffee with the 49ers, and then played in the CFL for a while. Anyway, he's coaching for us now. And he had a sister, he still has a sister, Dana, who is a internationally unbelievably talented runner, track star. And we were out on the practice field one day, and I was giving DJ a hard time, telling him the best athlete in his family was not him, who he vehemently denies, but it was his sister Dana, and he just got so bent out of shape over the whole thing. I just giggled for for the next 15 minutes because it bothered him so bad that I said his sister was better than him. And that's just one of a billion stories, you know. And Dana she was really talented, but DJ was really good too. So don't get me wrong. But there's so many times we've had players on this team that are on our teams that are really talented, and you watch them do unbelievably things every day. And then we had players that, bless their heart, they did the very best they could, and they just weren't athletically very gifted. And for instance, we had one guy that played receiver, and if he caught a ball a week, it was stop practice, let's go home, because we're not going to get any better than we are today. Then I've seen that happen 10 times, and everybody turns around, and this is what makes it so neat. It's not just me that's enjoying the moment. It's all the kids are enjoying the moment, because when that kid makes that play, everybody just kind of bust out laughing. So it's a lot of fun. But I've seen stuff that you can't believe, and there's no way on God's green earth I could give you all of that in one time. There's no way. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Don't try to imitate anybody. You are who you are. And the guys, the most perceptive people in the world are kids. They know when you're trying to pull a fast one on them. And so don't. Be the best you can be. Be honest with them. Tell them the truth. And just work unbelievably hard and enjoy it. People that do the job for a paycheck, I don't understand, because I never did it that way. But I think if I was brand new, I would tell them, just be the best person you can be, and give them the best effort you can. So many guys want to advance so fast, and really it's do the best job you can do where you are, and the advancements will come. But if you don't do that, then you're going to miss out on so much that is really, really neat stuff. Obviously when you deal with kids, you're in the relationship business. So getting to know all those kids, and they're all I'll tell you what I tell them. I say I love them all. I don't always like them, but I love them all. But getting a chance to get to know them, get to know their parents, get to see them grow, get to see them evolve. I was at a track meet last night in Go Cougars. We won the district championship for the boys. It was fantastic. And there was a young man running, and he's a diva. There's no other way to put it. He's a diva. But I've seen him grow up from a guy that you couldn't hardly take as a freshman to now he's getting ready to be a senior. And he's a fine young man, and those kind of relationships didn't happen once. They happened literally thousands of times. So getting to see that evolution is neat, and then getting to see them when they become adults is even more impressive. In the last month, ex-players of mine have come up to me in just random spots, once on a golf course and once at a restaurant, and just seeing them become young men and fathers and parents, and seeing their growth and seeing how they're productive and good people is all that stuff.
Stay square. Stay square. Let's go.
It's been a privilege, to work with all those kids. I've got friends of mine that'll tell you that they hate their job. Right, I've never hated my job. I like being around kids, and I like working with them. They've got a lot of energy, and it makes it fun, and I enjoy the people I worked with. So, in terms of the impact, there are so many different ways I could answer that question. I will tell you that I've met several people in the last probably month that I hadn't seen for a long, long, long time that played for me over the course of my career, and just them coming up and recognizing the relationship and telling me they appreciated the effort that we put into it has made it very rewarding. I've been through Side Creek for a really long time, obviously, and the school in itself has changed physically 3 times that I can remember where we've had a physical rebuild, but the clientele and the people have changed too. But what stayed consistent the whole time was the expectation and the support and the desire for the kids to do really, really well. So even though we don't look like we did in 2002, the kids have been great. And so I think what I'll take with me more than anything is while people change, the expectations and the desire for kids to be successful has stayed the same, if not gotten more impressive. So I think that's probably what I'll take with it more than anything. I've had a lot of people work for me. And that's not a fair way to say it. I've had the privilege of working with a lot of really neat people, and I appreciate them and their efforts and everything they've done. And I've had literally thousands of kids I've coached, and I appreciate them tolerating me and tolerating my mistakes and allowing me to share, that very special time. High school is a special time, and you're only going to have it for a little while, and to be able to almost like permanently be in that special time with all these guys has been a privilege, and I just want to thank them. It's been a lot of fun. I'm telling you, I went to school every day in shorts. I don't think I've ever worked a day in my life, so it's not bad. Doesn't make any difference. Play every play like it's the only play, because that play that you're in right there is the only one you're guaranteed. Okay, nobody knows the future, and the past is already done. Play the play.
And here come the Cougars.